Hi everyone. So in today's class we'll be taking a look at root summarization, or otherwise known as root aggregation. And of course when we talk about root summarization, is actually the reverse of IP subnetting. So what that simply is that the prerequisite for this class is basic IP addressing and IP subnetting. So in case you are not familiar with those prerequisite topics, you might actually drop a comment at the end of this video and probably make a video on these two topics. So let's move on. So like I said, IP summarization or root summarization is the reverse process of the IP subnetting. In IP subnetting, you take a look at network expansion. Maybe you are given a network address, and from that single network address you are going to be generating smaller network addresses from that single network address. Now those smaller network addresses are known as subnets. But when you talk of root summarization, you're actually compressing network addresses, okay, to one or more or some roots, okay. And if you're wondering why do you actually need to do that, now the purpose of doing that is to enable a router to take a look at routing decision, or to make a routing decision much more faster. For instance, looking at this diagram, I have two routers connected to this link. The first router has a .1 network, .1 1.0 to 10.0, and on the second router you have 10.1.0 to 10.50.0. So obviously you have like 50 routes on router 2 and you have 20 routes on router 1. Now assuming you are trying to send a packet destined for 50.0, I mean 200.10.1, sorry, 200.10.50.0, which is this, to this router. Now when that packet gets to router 2, what happens? Two things may actually happen. First, the router takes a look at the destination network address attached to that packet and it checks its routing table for an exit interface attached to that network address. Now if that network address is present in the routing table, it switches that packet out of the exit interface attached to that network. Now in the process where that network address is not present in the router's table, what happens? The router drops that packet. Now but in our own case, obviously the network address, which is the destination network address, is present in router's 2 routing table. So what that simply means is that this 50.0 is at the end of the list. So before router 2 will take that routing decision, that is switching that packet out of the exit interface attached to this 50.0, it means the router will have to go through how many entries? 50 entries. Why? Because the destination network you're trying to reach, or the network you're trying to reach, is at the end of the entire list, 50.0. So to fast track or to make that routing decision on the router much faster, what if I'm able to compress those 50 routes to maybe 1 or 2 network advertisements? What does that mean? It means the router will be able to take that routing decision much faster than when you are looking at a long entry like this. So that's the purpose, or one of the benefits of the root summarization. So how do you do that now? So let's assume that I want to summarize all these routes from 210.10 to 210.50.0. How do we do that? Now don't forget, in basic IP addressing, you should be familiar with that you have 4 octets in your IP address. So this is an octet, this is another octet, this is another octet, and this is another octet, 4 octets. And again, you know that each octet comprises of how many bits? 8 bits, right? the maximum value you could have in an octet is 255, and the minimum is what? 0. Looking at this chart, 164, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. So when you set all these bits to 1, when you set all these bits to 1, when you convert it to decimal, it will give you 255. That is 120 plus the 4 plus 2 down to 1. It gives you 255. When you set all the bits to 0, converting it to decimal, what will it give you? It gives you 0. So what that means is that in an octet, the minimum value is 0, the maximum value is what? 255. Now, talking of block sizes, these are different block sizes, starting from 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and 28. You should understand what a block size is in IP subnet. Now, if I want to summarize, if I want to summarize all these 50 rows, the first thing you need to take a look at is you figure out the least network address in the range. I have 50 rows from 1.0 to 50.0. Obviously, 1.0 is the least in that range. So my summary routes will simply be the least network address in the range. So my summary route will be what? 200.10.1.0. This will be my what? Summary routes. But if you take a look at all these 50 routes, of course this is class C. All of them are class C network addresses. So /24. Because of this summary route now, you are going to be generating a summary mask with it. The summary network will not be having the same subnet mask that all these 50 routes are having. We are going to generate a different subnet mask, which is going to be this the summary mask, okay, for this address here that you're using. So what does that mean? It means if I have 50 routes, as the case is here, the block size I'm going to be using, because obviously there's nothing like block size of 50. Is there anything like block size of 50? Obviously no. So if I have 50 rows, I'm going to be using the next available block size. Looking at my charts here, I cannot use block size of 32 because that one cannot take care of the number of rows I have. I have 50, so I can't possibly use block size of 32. And I don't have block size of 50. So in between this 32 and the next block size 64, you have the number of rows you want to summarize, right? Good. So you have 50 in here. So what that's something is that the block size you're going to be using will be what? 64. You cannot use 32 because 32 is lower than number of rows you want to summarize. So the next available block size after this 32 is what? 64. So block size of 64 will take care of all the 50 network addresses that you want to summarize. Alright. So remember this formula in IP subnetting. When we have a BS, which is the formula for block size, equals what? 256 minus IO. Of course, you know 256 is constant. This is the block size. So what you're actually looking for is, you are looking for this value, IO, which is the interesting octets. Don't forget, I said our BS will be what? 64. So, meaning IO will be what now? 256 minus what? 64. What would that give you? That gives us 192, right? Yes. So that gives us 192. So that would be the IO for these summary rows. So what does that mean? It means the summary address, or let me say the summary mask rather, the summary mask for these networks here will now be 255.255.192.0. Why am I putting the 192 in the third octet? Now look at the list of your network addresses. The first octet is the same, the second octet is the same. You have the change occurring in the third octet, is that not? That is where you have the change. So the 192 will be in the third octet. So your summary mask becomes 255.192.0. So what that simply means is that instead of this router 2, advertising all these individual 50 routes to router 1, at the end of the day, router 1 will not be having, ideally, router 1 has, by default, router 1 has 20 routes already, plus this, what they call this one link here. So it means router 1 will be having 21 plus 50, that is 50 routes coming from router 2, right? Now, but with this route summarization now, instead of router 2 advertising all these 50 routes to router 1, such that router 1 will not be having 71 routes in all. Router 2 will be advertising 200.10.1.0 with mask of 255.192.0. And of course, if you want to represent these or convert these subnet masks, which is in decimal notation to slash notation, what does that mean? It means the summary routes would be 200.10.1.0 slash, when you have 192, what does that mean? 192, that is 2 bits. So it means the summary mask will be what? Slash 18. Sorry about that. So that's slash 18. So that is that. So instead of router 2 advertising all these 50 routes down, it's going to be advertising just one summary address to router 1, which is 210.1.0 slash 18. So what router 1 will be having is just the summary route, that is the 21 routes, all these 21 routes, plus just one additional network address. And of course, that additional network address is going to be what the summary routes, which is this guy here. So that is that. So let's take another example. So what if I want to summarize all these 20 routes on router 1 as well? So meaning advertising all these 20 routes to router 2. I want a situation whereby it is going to be the summary address or the summary routes that will be advertised from router 1 to router 2. In that case, let's take a look at that. In that case, what will be my block size? Don't forget, I have 20 routes. 1.0 to where? 20.0. Looking at my charts here again, obviously there is nothing like 20 block size or block size of 20. So in between this block size 16 and block size 32, I have my 20, which is the number of routes that I want to summarize. Obviously I cannot use block size of 16 because that one cannot capture all the 20 routes that I have. So the next available block size is what? 32. So I'll be using BS equals what? 32. So I'm looking for what now? IO. My IO will be what? 256 minus what? 32. That gives you what? 224. Again, the summary address is going to be the least address in the range. From 1.0, that is 192 state 1.0 to 192 state 20.0. Which one is the least? The least address there is 192, 168, 1.0. And that's going to be my summary address. What about the summary mask. So I've generated my high row already. I've prepared my high row already. So it means the summary mask will be what? 255.255. Again, the change occurs in the third octet, so I'm going to be slotting that 224 in my third octet. 224. This is in decimal notation. If I'm to convert this to slash notation, it means I will say slash what? 244. When you have 244, what does that mean? It means 3 bits are turned on. So I already have 255, which is 8 bits. I have 255, which is another 8 bits. So that's 16. 224, it means out of the 8 bits that you have in an octet, 3 bits are turned on. So when you add those 3 bits to the existing 16 bits, what would that give you? That will give you 19. So summarizing this now, all these 20 networks here, the summary address will simply be 192.168.1.0 slash what? Slash 19. So again, instead of router 1 now advertising all these 20 rows to router 2, it's going to advertising just that summary address, which is 192.168.1.0 slash 19. So that is that. Now let me quickly take you through another method of solving this. You are still going to get the same results anyway, but different method. Now another way of solving this is this. Let me go back to this. Another way is this. You see, when you have this 200.10.1.0 through 200, right? .10. This is 15.0. Now what you're going to do now is this. You're going to pick the least address in the range and the highest IP, or the highest network address in the range, and you convert them to binary. Again, pick the least address and the highest address in the range, convert both to binary. For instance, converting 210.1.0 to binary, let's see, 200.10.1. 1 will give me 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dots 0, 0, 0, that is in 8 places. You understand what I mean? Now, the highest, you have 200.10 dots. Now, converting 50 now to binary, so that would be 128. 128 would be 0. This would be 0 as well. 0, 0, that's 64, right? Then this one would be 32. Remaining, this one would be 16. So this would be 0, because when you deduct 32 from 50, what do you have left? You have 18 left. Okay, sorry, 18 left. So this one will be 1, which is 16. So remaining 4. This one will be 0. This one will be 1. This one will be 0. This one will be 0. Then dots 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 in these places, So let me confirm this again. 128, 64, 128, 64, 32, 32 plus 16, 48, 48, then 48, this will be 8, 4, this will be 1, which should be 0. Anyway, so the whole idea here is this. You are looking at matched bits. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I convert the first 2 octets to binary? 200.10, 200.10. Why did I convert them to binary? Like I said, we are looking at matched bits. So there's no point converting 200.10 to binary, because already, let's assume 200.10. For instance, let's say the binary format for 200.10 is 001. What that simply means is that the binary format for 200.10 here, for the second one also be 001. So already I know that from here, the first two octets already have what? 16 matched bits. Again, don't forget, the focus is I'm looking for matched bits, okay, on these two Netorkin addresses. So from here, the first octet to the second octet already have 16 matched bits. So I'm converting from the third octet, because that is where I have the change. You have the change. The change occurs in the what? The third octet. And that's why I'm trying to convert this one to binary and 50 to what? Binary. So if you take a look at the third octet, now it's clear that I have just 2 matched bits. 0 here, 0 here, 0 here, 0 here. But from the third bit, this one is 0, this one is 1. So what that simply means is that I don't have any business with these other parts. So when you talk of the matched bits, it means from the first octet to the second octet, you already have how many matched bits? 16 matched bits. Plus these 2 bits, making it what? 18. So what that simply means is that the summary mask will what? /18. And of course, the summary address, like I said, is going to be what? The least address in the range. So what will it be now? It means the summary address will now be what? 200.10 dot what? .1.0 /18, which is the same thing we got using the first method. I hope we got that. Now let me still use the same method for this second one. So let's see whether we still arrive at the same answer. Now for this second one, okay, let me use this part. For the second one, I have 192.168.1.0 to 192.168.20.0. So again, 192.168. Converting 1 to binary, that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Dots 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 in 8 places. That's what I mean. Now the second one, 192.168. 20, convert 20 to binary, so that gives me 128. That this will be 0, 64, 32. I have 16. 16 will be 1, right? 16 will be 1, remaining 4, right? This will be 0, which is 8. Then this will be 1, which is 4, so that's 20. 4, then 2, 1. Are we there? So let me check again. 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. So 16 plus 4. So that's it. Then dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in 8 places. Again, we are looking for matched bits. So from here, from the first octet to the second octet, again, we already have 16 matched bits. So starting from the third octet now, how many matched bits do we have there? 1, 2, 3. Is that not? So this is 0, this one is 1. So meaning from here, we don't have any business from from here down to the last octet. So where they have 3 match bits plus the existing 16 match bits, what do you have? 19. It means the mask will be what? Slash 19. That will be the summary mask. So what will be the summary hardware? The summary hardware will now be what? The least in the range 192.168.1.0/19. Notice that it's still the same thing with the first method. So that is that. So the drawback with this, because I said I'm going to teach you the second method, so I'm going to split this video into 2 parts. So in the second video, I will explain the drawback using this method. Then we'll now analyze the second method, which is the one that is much more efficient and effective. So I'm Corey Dolako. I hope the video is informative. Thanks for viewing.